Oh, yeah, go so. Yeah, go so because as you know, football there you can't keep on playing. But maybe now at least maybe the soul is willing, but the body is weak. But God being so good, after the end of my career, I invested a lot into farming, as you all know, and it's still ongoing. But all this, I got a lot of advice from people say at least what about born kakra. So unyansa no way it shouldn't go west. So I decided to go into coaching. So currently I'm a Lance's D coach. So as you all know, so I'm working on me as an assistant coach. Wow, I compare this group to a time now because I still remember that Ghana League was one of the best in Africa. So it's advised to, the stakeholders, those in charge of a game, because if you want your national team to perform at the highest level, we need to invest in the local league. Okay. Because I remember by then, me, Samir Aji, and Isam and the local blend were there. Yeah, so it's an advice. By the time, frankly, team now on the age foreign players, because fine local players were there, but not team now on the because by then those players they were playing week in and week out. That's the question now, because people were asking, say, fine, your players in there, but I'm asking myself whether those players are playing week in and week out. That's the most important. It's not just the name, we're professional, but are you playing? Because Qatar, not to say, maybe almost 20 days we are there, and the clubs are prepared. So your time, not any this time. The only difference is that, fine, there were so many professional players, but they were playing week in and week out at their clubs. But our current squad, fine, the names are there, but you ask yourself whether they are making the names out there. Yeah, frankly speaking, just started a campaign. I remember our last game was against Cape Verde. Yeah, called Portugal for 2 weeks with the senior, the professionals. To me, because it was my first time that maybe per diem and bonuses were paid, and local player and foreign player were taking the same. So by then there was that kind of unity. Because I remember the likes of my senior, my Samuel Kufo and Silva Pia, Arsene and Kono. We were all together because we were all dining, we were all eating. So everything was like, there's no local. So I'm only praying, hoping that maybe that same unity still exists. That's the most important thing. Because when you take the unity in the park, so you get the results. So to me, there's no much difference, as I made it clear from the onset. But at time, now professionals, they were competing in their clubs week in and week out. But truth must be told, I don't know whether the players that we have currently, whether or more clubs week in, that's where the question is.
So if they are not playing week in, week out, they are affected. Yeah.
Oh, for sure, because we all know that World Cup, everybody is going with strongest team, and when you have play A or play B, it depends on what you can do on the field. So I'm only praying and hoping that maybe the coaches and those in there who are doing the necessary decision will look into that.
Michael Dunko against George Owu, and Michael Dunko scores! Hearts are the champions of the Confederations Cup. Glorious Hearts have lifted the trophy. Believe it or not.
Medical I can't say your local league no. They have to reinvest and reinvest into it. Because I remember when I was with Faisal, I think 3 consecutive years, Faisal were playing CAF Confederation Cup. So we had the opportunity by them playing the likes of WAC, Horoya, and some teams in Africa. So I remember in our game against WAC in Morocco, we were having almost 90,000 supporters. So it was normal. So when I got the opportunity to play against, Italy, I came in 79 minutes, but the big stage was against Czech. By then, Czech was the second in the world. Yeah, so I still remember Sami, I speak Hausa, Sami Kufo. I said, Shilla, Kabua, meaning you can play. Because he said when he was in Bayern, he was watching my Faisal, and so, and the likes of Steven and Kono, we all speak Tree. Master Utama Adru, Obetime, Ese and Ko, like, especially Solomon, he was speaking Hausa, like Umirasu, look at Kayake. It was like you were part of them. So maybe the supporters, the fans, and people around the world or the continent, they were thinking maybe this is Mr. Shilla. It's new, we don't know him. But you being part of the squad, you are looking to be easy. Yeah, it was one of the turning points in my career because I don't see World Cup to be a turning point because as a young guy coming from Africa, a legendary coach like Arsene Wenger picking a call. I still remember after our game against Czech, because the game was played in Nuremberg. Yeah, I still remember. So after our dinner, I don't know how, because my phone was ringing. Because by then I was thinking it was the local and the disturbance. So later I realized it was +44. So when I picked, it was like, hello, Mr. Illiasu. So I didn't even speak. So later I was like, who is this? He said, oh, Mr. Arsene. So I was like, who is Mr. Arsene? He said, oh, Arsene Wenger. Wow. So I just paused for 30 seconds. I was thinking like it was a scam or a fraud. So later he was like, no, it's real. I was at the stadium, I watched you, and maybe I'm trying to invite you. These are the young guys who want to, invite. It was like that kind of way. So later, I think when the phone went off, my agent also called and said, I'm on the way coming to your hotel. I just had a call from Arsene Wenger, so maybe we can make a business. So, frankly, from there, I didn't get swallow-headed because our next match was against USA, where I was thinking that maybe when we won against USA, definitely we'll make it to the second round. Sure. So I was not swallow-headed because I knew at that stage, when you play well, opportunities will come. So to me, it was a turning point, not the World Cup. Yoko German, no. Say first match, your boy against Italy. Okay. Almost share two, no. But when you have a trepa now, we just have match, you could see that. Fine, you lose a game by 2 goals, but Ghana idea pa. So my only advice to coaches and the players is that if you go to every tournament in PR, make sure to first match. If you loses that first match, you need to play about yourself. Bon year, no be yourself fine. Maybe when you like maybe one year. I can tell you that after you Italy, no coaches no be you come back to your hotel or no, and it's actual game no. So Obia was say if you can play against Italy this way, then that means you need to check everything my show. Because you're ball in year. So my advice is that tournaments your first might determine whether you make progress or not. Because among for baby or about to say Ghana we are slow started. Me there I don't buy into that idea. I believe that your first match you should play like a World Cup final. So you say Portugal
first match.
Fine. It should be match after match. Uruguay, Korea and let's forget about them. You make sure that against Portugal we play about ourselves. Young born a year. Even you lose because fine, I'm here to look at Portugal, but Portugal no yeah. If we should go to our trade back I still want to emphasize on that. You're born a year against Portugal. I'm not saying you can go and win the cup, but you can qualify to the next stage. A very good question. If they can listen to me, the idea of enticement fee, amount for appearance fee, per diem bonuses, they should make it very secrecy. To say like management against players. Second person should now like maybe she say me Ghana. Let me teach the course where we come. It doesn't help. So maybe I come back to my and say maybe 3 days and 4 days to a tournament, the silly, Well, we are say Qatar. Fine. So young fans say maybe from first match to second match, maybe you will qualify. Say like behind your problem be about the appearance fee anyway. With that, I'm sure the players will get a sound as soon as you know ball. But the idea of maybe to say Ghana for say, hey, almost how then I'm Ghana for it here. So Messi almost say, to say like moment in time. Third party shouldn't hear it. I'm sure from that maybe players when you sound my assume no more ball here.